This is a pallet. Oh, mate, that's not a pallet. Now that's a pallet. As a matter of fact, I have a trailer full of pallets, and in this video I'm going to build the kitchen island, wood around the cabinetry, and then I'm going to finish it using pallet wood. That's free, and that's always a good price. We got the wall for the island halfway built. The problem is we have this pipe for the drain. I'm not going to go into details, but there was a massive design change for the island, and this is a better design than what we started with. However, it did create an issue with this drain pipe. This pipe has to be hidden into it somehow. I'll just keep filming stuff and you can keep watching. Yeah, here we go. So now we got to shoot this into the floor. It's pretty dang sturdy. The cabinets themselves are Tapcon into the floor, but this is not. Basically, it's a 22 blank, and put it in the gun, close it up. Take your nail that's specific for this type of gun. This is not just a normal framing nail. I have some pre-drilled holes thanks to Nils. And the reason we pre-drilled these is because these have a tendency to split these 1x material. So I'm going to interject real quick here. We got to go over something. Remember when I said this? And then I'm going to finish it using pallet wood. That's free, and that's always a good price. My definition of free may have been a little skewed. There are thousands of pallet wood projects out there to see. YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, a lot of other sites, just vomiting beauty all over people's homes, offices, and that's what inspired me actually to do this. Why not? It's free wood. Free wood. Not just free wood, it's free quality wood. Like hickory, mahogany, maple, oak, really nice wood. So it seems like a slam dunk, right? Wrong. Let's just go through the process of harvesting one board from a pallet. The first thing is finding the right process to separate it from the pallet body. Do you pry it out? Oftentimes this will damage the wood beyond repair. It's like a hit or miss. Sometimes the boards come off beautifully prying them, and sometimes they just get destroyed. I don't want 50% of the boards, I want 100% of the boards, or somewhere close to 100% of the boards that I try to get off these pallets. Alright, so then do you just cut on either side of the nails? This works, and it does get you really nice boards, but it also only works if you need boards that are like 10 to 15 inches long. And I need the whole length, so that won't work for me. I opted to just slice right through the nails, leaving me the longest, most usable, least damaged boards that I could get. And then comes the next step, which is removing the nail stubs. So now I have to flip it over, hammer it out with a nail punch, pry it out. Now this seems like a simple process, and usually it is. About 80% of the boards are really easy to do this with. The nails just kind of come out. But there's that 20% where I have fought one board and its nails for an hour just trying to get these stupid nails out. Removing nails just takes so long. And that brings us to the next step, which is milling the board. Milling is the process of straightening and squaring up the board to itself. Every single board that I get off of these pallets requires this treatment because they are wildly out of square and they're not straight at all. And you can't just run it through the table saw because both sides are not straight. I had to find a separate piece of wood. This is plywood that I know has straight perpendicular long sides. I set my fence to how wide that is from the blade. I screw down that pallet wood to that board, leaving the edge just barely hanging over. So now when I run that assembly through my table saw, I'm able to get a very straight cut on one side of those pallet boards. I remove it from that piece of OSB, flip it over, run it through the table saw again. Now I have two perpendicular and straight sides on this pallet board. Then it's onto every woodworker's dream: sanding. What I landed on was 2 steps. First was just my benchtop belt sander. And the belt sander does a pretty good job, but it still needs more sanding, so then I take a finer grit on my random orbital sander and I go over each board with that by hand. This is where I realized I've been spending way too much energy, time, and frankly wear and tear on my tools just getting these pallet wood boards to the same level as like throwaway boards that you can buy for pennies at the lumber yard. And this lumber from the lumber yard would take almost zero prep. Now the next step is staining. The pattern we're going for on our kitchen island is many different colors of stained wood. You need a different brush for each color stain. You need to plan ahead so that you can get in one color stain and stain these many boards, the next color for these many boards, the next color for these many boards. It becomes a little bit difficult logistically, but it's doable and necessary if you're interested in saving any amount of your precious time that you have left for this project. Then I pick the stain color, stain all the boards, then you switch to the next stain, and then you repeat this process over and over until you collapse under the weight of your existential monotony. Then you wait. The stain needs time to penetrate, cure, and dry on the wood before the next step. The next step is sealing the wood. I wanted to seal the wood with a polyurethane product that leaves kind of a plastic film over the top of the wood that protects it and also helps protect you, the user. With polyurethane, you put one coat on, you let it set up, then you sand it. You put a second coat on, let it set up, then you sand it. And you put a third coat on, and you let it set up, and then you hope that that third coat is the final coat. Sometimes you can get away with 2 coats. Rarely can you get away with just 1 coat of polyurethane. You gotta realize where I'm going with this. My time, and probably your time, is more precious than this activity. Now, I can't deny that it looks phenomenal. And for smaller projects, things in my shop, or just woodworking hobbies, pallet wood really is the way to go. The really fun part is nailing the boards to your project. This takes no time at all, and it's a fun creative adventure, trying to find what colors you like in different spots and areas. There may be some trimming here or there. Maybe you take a few boards out to the table saw or your jigsaw, but I consider that a fun part of this project. I think this is the step that most people think about when they want to start a pallet wood project. But now, as I stand back and look at it, I really am glad that I did it. Just look at this final result.
The pallet wood section of our kitchen island is officially complete. As you can see, we still have some more stuff to do. We have the footrest and the bar top. If you enjoyed this part of the project, you're not going to want to miss our next video. We're going to finally finish the rest of our kitchen and you get to see the rest of the transformation. Happy building!